Facebooklandia. It has been some time since I have shown up to do one of these live episodes. I'm just trying to get my camera going. Yeah, I'm a bit blurry, not really sure why that is. Maybe that's better. It's a couple of weeks since I've shown up to offer one of these behind the mask episodes. Today is episode 27. And for those of you who are new here, this is an experiment, my social experiment in showing up unpolished, unfiltered, raw, and vulnerable, and allowing that to be one of the superpowers that we walk through this world with. There's a real beauty in being vulnerability. It allows us to be touched by the world and for the world to touch us as well. So the reason I haven't been showing up these past couple of weeks is because I've been really in it, really dancing in the storm. It's been quite a chaotic storm here outside of Melbourne, in Australia in general, with all of the constantly changing landscape of what's going on in this country. It's been at times quite disempowering, has been at times quite frightening. And ultimately, what I feel it is doing for me is to continue inviting me to go deeper, to listen deeper, to find that still point within the center of the storm. And so I have entitled today's theme Holding the Line, because it's such a huge topic right now, and one that feels really confronting for many of us at this time, especially I can't speak for all countries, but I can speak for the country that I'm in and the country that my home country in the United States. I know that these are big challenges that many people are facing. And it's something that I've been kind of staying clear of because it just actually feels like a big distraction. Like, it all feels like a big distraction to me, actually. Like hijacking my attention, all of the, I would say, like I don't even know what the word is, but the challenges that so many of us are being faced with. For some people, it's been a really easy time, perhaps, of like listening to what is being presented and acting from that place from inside of themselves to make decisions that feel aligned. And that's ultimately what I feel like, even just entitling this episode Holding the Line feels like that in itself. It's like so packed with so much judgment and confusion and anger and denial and sadness and grief and so much. What does that even mean, to hold the line? Like, for me, I'm not here to talk about like what decision is the right decision for any one person, because I feel like only I know what's true for me, just like only you know what's true for you. And sometimes what's true for any one of us is going to be in great alignment with a larger percent of people. And sometimes what feels true for each of us or for any of us might be aligned with like a small percentage of people. And I feel like that's what I'm really been witnessing around me a lot lately. And like, how to even talk about this theme delicately, with respect and with care for every person, everybody, no matter what choice anyone is making, how do I allow myself to love, care for, and respect, support, empower, encourage any person to act on behalf of their true sovereign nature? And who am I to judge anybody that their choice is the wrong choice? Like, there's always going to be evidence for every side of any picture or any issue. There's always going to be multiple, like, multifaceted perspectives. And who am I to be so righteous to say that any one is right or wrong or true or untrue? And that's what I feel this for me. Like, I've been journeying with this, holding this line inside of myself, not necessarily so much in regards to like what choice I'm personally making. So that's really nobody's business. It's a conversation between me, my body, and God, really. And I believe that it's everybody has their own unique conversation between them, their bodies, and God. And whatever decision that leads any person to make, like, I bless, and yeah, like, I just want to be in support of that. Even if I choose something different for myself, like, it really doesn't matter. Like, what I feel is happening at this time is obviously, so many of us are witnessing it, this division, this segregation, this separation, which I feel is the real culprit. You know, I've shed many tears in the past couple of weeks over what I'm witnessing happening in my very own communities, what I'm witnessing happening in my house, what I'm witnessing happening in the world at large, what I'm witnessing happening all around um, the world, in communities of people that I love and in places that I love. And that feels like the bigger issue. Like, it feels like the biggest issue, actually. You know, we've been living with this virus for many months now, and I feel what is actually making people unwell is this division that's happening inside of ourselves and in our communities. And that feels like the real culprit, the real sickness. You know, I feel like what COVID has done is really shown us how unwell we are as a culture, as a society. It's just pointing out what's already been there, you know, that maybe we didn't see because we were so caught up in the wheel. And we've had this time to really step back and to look and to see. And like, we can continue to like place our blame on some external force, whether it's a virus or whether it's a government or whether it's a vaccine or whether it's somebody else who's making a different choice or different decision than what you or I might be making. Though ultimately, I feel like, yeah, the real culprit, or the real problem, is our unwillingness to sit with the discomfort that we're feeling inside of ourselves. You know, and do we have the courage and the will to choose to sit in that space inside of ourselves that is conflicted? Or maybe that has clarity. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, but are any one of us willing to sit with that discomfort inside of ourselves and hold that line inside of ourselves? You know, holding the line. Like, I was just reading about it, what it even means. It's like to not give up. What is it? Let's see. To not yield to the pressure of a difficult situation. That's the one that really resonated with me. To not yield to the pressure of a difficult situation. And I feel like we're in a difficult situation, and there's like, you know, so much pressure coming from every direction, and so much pressure coming from internal directions as well, based on beliefs and programming and family obligations and um, societal obligations or work obligations. Like there's so much pressure. And I feel like this concept, of holding the line is like the willingness to sit in the pressure cooker without yielding or giving up or abandoning oneself. Really, really. That's what I feel is the biggest invitation to me. Like, I don't, yeah, like it, I know there's no going back to normal, whatever is happening. There's no normal to go back to. Like that, oh, that normal that I've known or that any of us have known no longer exists. And so to strive for some normal actually feels like it's taking a lot of courage to let go of the desire to find some kind of normal, you know, and to allow oneself to become even more resilient and even more connected to what is the truth that's moving through you or moving through me, and hold that line unapologetically, whatever it is. Like, I don't care if you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, or you're, like, I don't really care. Like, the fact that this is even a thing, nobody like walks around asking, like, what is your religion and can I be your friend, or can I let you into this cafe if you're Christian or Buddhist or Muslim. It's like, it just doesn't make sense to my very like my struggling rational mind. None of it makes sense. And so I just choose, consciously choose, to hold this line inside of myself on behalf of all of my relatives, all of my relations. Like, I love everyone equally based on the fact that they're a human being who is worthy of existing in a free, like, in a free and sovereign way. Like, this is just a God-given birthright. Like, they're actually, it's like I go out into nature and I sit with nature, and nature is just like, there's no problem, like, everything in nature is individuated. It's the beauty of living in a reality of duality. We have individuation, we have variety, we have diversity. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's what actually makes up the beauty of the world, is the diversity. And so this kind of like, othering of anyone, despite whatever anyone's decision is, like, it's just so, it's so, that feels so unnatural to me. Like, nature holds this line of balance. Like, that's what holding the line, in my opinion, actually really means. Is, am I willing to hold a balance? Am I willing to be an agent, a catalyst of balance? And balance requires diversity, and balance requires, like, free will and free choice to express ourselves in the ways in which, like, we are kind of designed to be expressed. Like, I don't look like you, I don't sound like you, I don't think or feel like anybody else. I've got my own unique blueprint and my own unique expressions and my own unique kind of way that my body is expressed in the world, the way that my voice sounds in the world. Like, each and every one of us has been made to express ourselves individually and uniquely. And yeah, like, I could hang out in a forest with other people like me. So I don't know if you've ever been to like a forest that has just one kind of tree. Like, it kind of gets boring after a while. The beauty of being in a wild forest is that it's diverse. And the very fact that, like, one of the main, like, I would say, like, challenges that we're all facing is to, like, try and be like everybody else, or like the struggle of standing up and believing in one's own truth and being a stand for that, or manipulating each other to try and make a decision that's not aligned with one's own unique expression of self. Like, it just it's like I can see the madness, and it breaks my heart. Like, it breaks my heart to see the madness that's going on around me. And so, yeah, for me, like, I hold this line inside of myself. Like, I hold this line for balance, and I hold this line for diversity, and I hold this line for free choice and expression of our unique brilliance and our unique gifts and our unique beliefs and our unique like inner truths. Like, this just seems like a basic, like, it is a basic human right, like, given to us by our creator, nobody else. Like, no government can take that away from us. Like, no person, no family member, no matter how much we love them, can take away from you or me this, like, unique expression of self. Like, it's what we were designed for. So why would we want to give that up in any way, shape, or form, or condone or support any force that wishes to take that away from anybody? And so for me, this holding the line is holding a space for balance. It's holding a space for each and every one of my brothers and sisters to be free to express themselves as uniquely as they were designed to be expressed, with no restrictions and no like external pressures. That being said, let's have a quick chat about these external pressures and what a gift they are unto themselves. It's like, it's almost like this pressure cooker that we're in is here to drive us even closer, even deeper into our own center, whatever that looks for any one of us. For those people who are currently restricted from entering into specific places, awesome. What a gift. What a, like, a relinquishing of the distractions that keeps anybody from going more deeply into themselves. And for those people who are choosing to engage in the world of like, I don't even know what to call it without, yeah, like, for those people who have more liberties at this time to go about business as usual, how can they also be of support to the balance, because they have like a green ticket to kind of have their voices be heard, and to support all life, and to support this balance for all beings. It's like, rather than working against each other, like, how do we support one another wherever any one of us stand? Like, why don't we stand on this line together? No matter where it is, whatever it is you believe, like, why doesn't everyone stand on this line together to support the freedom of choice and the freedom of will and the freedom of expression? Like, that's cool. That's what I would like to see more people doing, rather than just going back to business as usual and supporting mandates, not woman dates. Women wouldn't make those kind of dates because we support life. So it's like, how can we all work together to hold this line for diversity and connection and empowering of all people, no matter what their unique expression is? The fear that we're all feeling in our own ways is what's actually causing the separation. The fear to like feel what's actually been suppressed inside of ourselves, you know, the fear to actually meet the dis-ease that's inside of our minds from living in a world that has valued progress over like deepening into connection with all of life. And so I would like to invite the possibility that we all choose to kind of reclaim and reframe what it means to hold the line. It's not about you or me being on some opposite side, or me and you being on the same side, or somebody else being on the other side. Like, actually, like this line in the middle, in the center, is this line where we can all work together to create a future that supports all of life. Like, it's not about a virus as much as it is about like humanity coming together to support the continuation of life, and not a life where people are restricted from expressing themselves or being who they were designed by creator to be. Like, but a space where we all support, empower, encourage each other to keep on meeting those parts of ourselves that are out of balance so that we can come into balance. Like, no vaccine is going to bring anybody into balance. Like, whether you choose to take it or not choose to take it, it really doesn't fucking matter. Like, that's not going to make you well in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit, in your soul. Doing the inner work, having the courage to meet those uncomfortable places, or have those uncomfortable conversations, or speak the truth that's like been bubbling deep inside of you. Like, that's what's going to make us well. And so, yeah, this holding the line for me feels like I'm holding space in the center for us to be well, like, of body, mind, spirit, heart. This place, this holding the line, this center line. Like, if you look at the yin and the yang, this line in the center that like holds the balance. That holds the balance. This balance is the diversity. It's like the full bodied expression of all that we came here to be. Why would anybody want to let go of that line? Why would anybody want to let go of that? I pray that nobody does. I pray that everybody wants to hold this line within themselves for balance of all. And in that, we need all. We welcome all. We value all. We respect all. We encourage, empower, and, all. Doesn't mean we have to agree with it. There's lots of things I don't agree with. Though it's not my place to judge anybody unless it's totally anti-life and anti-freedom and anti-choice, which is kind of happening right now in many places. Though when I feel disempowered, what is it that I can do to make a difference? I know that the best thing I can do is go in and be willing to meet those places inside of myself that are out of balance. Be willing to meet those places inside of myself where I'm like othering myself, or repressing myself, or detaining myself, or imprisoning myself, or restricting myself. Like, freedom is an inside job. It's not a new concept. So, like, yogis and Buddhists and spiritual people have been doing for millennia, finding the freedom inside of themselves, and like, that's also holding a line, not letting oneself get pulled in any one direction. It's drama. It's fucking cycle of drama. And from this place within oneself, like, we don't have to subscribe to all that noise. It takes a lot of fucking courage and a lot of willpower to hold that line inside of ourselves. You can give it whatever definition you want it to be, but, like, really, if you take away the definition, it's like, for me, it feels like it's just defining the conviction to be connected to self, to be connected to other, and to be connected to this earth. Like, that's what I'm holding the line for: connection. So, yeah, despite what anyone's choices are, I love you. And yeah, for all of the mandates and bills that are kind of like out there attempting to control or restrict people, I love those. I want to learn to love more the people who are trying to implement these mandates, because they're also unwell and imbalanced. And so, from this place, I just want to keep on finding that balance inside and trusting. If we were all willing to play that part, that small part, it's like just finding balance inside of ourselves, taking out the restrictions that we have within ourselves, holding that line for balance inside of ourselves. I think we'd be in a very different reality. And that's the reality I'm aiming for. And I invite whoever is on that, wants to hang out and dance on this line with me. Like, let's dance, let's play, let's create, let's express, let's welcome everyone. Let's welcome everyone. Let's find new ways of welcoming everyone, even when external forces are saying no. Let's find new ways of working together to support everyone to be in balance, dancing, holding this line, which is the web. It's like we're holding these pieces of our pieces of a web. We're holding our pieces of a web. And every single person's piece is absolutely necessary and valuable. Every single person's on this planet, whatever piece of the line you're holding, is valuable. So let's hold it with integrity and with love and with respect and with the willingness to kind of like move through this birth canal, however much we're getting squeezed, so that we can come onto the other side, like, whoa, together in a new reality that's like steeped in respect and in balance, connection, love, diversity, empowerment, support. That's all I have to say today.